Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm MrRedClaw. Welcome back to some more World of Tanks. But before we get into it, head down below, like and subscribe. Just does about a lot, and let's get right into it. Today we are watching Tankistador, I guess, playing in the tier 6 Chinese light tank, the Type 64. Now, this, of course, being a light tank that has been in the game for years, it was here before the light tank changes about 3-4 years ago. So that means it still has the same stats basically as it did when it kind of was matched up as a tier 7. But right at the start of the game, Tankistador makes a really costly mistake, which could have cost him his life right at the start, crashing into the rocks, coming up onto the top of the glacier map over here. I'm pretty sure it is, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. He could have died over there if they would have tracked him, but instead he gets shot by the T-50 twice and by the Chromo once. Still, it could have been worse, but yeah, it definitely could have been better if he wouldn't have crashed. Maybe he would have avoided that second shot from the T-50-2. But yes, as I said, this tank being in the game for many years now, it was here before the changes to the light tank, so that means it still has the same stats as it did before, but now it gets matched up as a tier 6 tank instead of a tier 7 tank, which just means it's basically flat out better now that it can face, you know, tier 4s, and then, you know, before that it had to like fight, you know, tier 9s even, which was not really fun, I guess, for anyone who played it back then. I recently picked up this tank, well, recently, maybe probably a year ago, to be honest now. Haven't really played it too much. I kind of just find my enjoyment of the game is most at tier 8. But still, I played this tank a couple of times. Didn't really have too many, like, absolutely awesome games, but I definitely had some decent games in this tank. You know, nothing on the scale of what Tankistador is going to have today. Basically, you know, this isn't going to be a spotting game, this is just going to be flat out, you know, damage in a light tank, you know, in probably, well, decent matchmaking. You know, he could be versus tier 5s, I think he can, this tank can go against tier 4s as well, so it could be better, but it definitely, you know, he could be versus, you know, fighting tier 8s over here, so it's definitely quite a good matchup for Tankistador over here today. Now, the Type 64, what do you need to know? It's really fast, decent view range, decent camo, decent gun, which fires really fast. It has kind of like the turret of a Hellcat, so that doesn't actually turn too quickly, but other than that, it's quite decent, as he's kind of not really aware of his situation over here. There's a poor lack right behind him, and you know, Tankistador has no clue what's going on over here. The Porlack was actually trying to shoot him, but then gives up, start shooting the ARL, which hopefully gives Tankistador some time to kill him before he kills the ARL and turns his way towards the Type 64 over here. Set him on fire means that he has to put in one less shot, which is always good. And up to 4 kills right at the start of this game, 2,600 damage, and his team is winning by 4 kills and 500 damage. Now, this tank, 2,180 DPM, 115 damage, with 128mm of penetration on standard rounds and 177 on the premium rounds, which Tankistador has primarily the APCR rounds. He only had 4 AP rounds and the rest is APCR, which is, I guess, you know, fair enough. You know, he has food in here as well. Maybe he's just using this to train up his crew or just to have a fun time. You know, we all have that one tank where we just kind of, you know, put in those extra couple APCR rounds, those heat rounds, you know, use food all the time, have the best crew, you know, use all of that free experience on to make the crew even better, and you know, maybe this is Tankistador's kind of tank for that. 72 kilometers an hour forwards, 23 backwards, you know, just absolutely everything that you need. 10 degrees of gun depression, 650 health, 390 meters of view range, which is pretty decent for a tier 6 light tank. You know, there's some tier 10s that have the same amount, so, you know, for this, not really that bad. But now, over here, Tankistador is going to have a little bit of a while for not really having much to do over here, as he has fired all but 4 of his shells in this tank. He has 4 rounds left, 4 APCR rounds. He has 5 kills, 4,000 damage in this tank. And I'm not really sure how much damage I've done in this tank, you know, the most. I actually might check this before we go into the post-game stats. But this is an absolutely brilliant amount of damage. You know, a tier 10 light tank would be proud to do this amount of damage in a game, but you know, to do it in a tier 6 is just absolutely amazing. You know, there's only a TOG 2 left, a T-3485M, a Dicamax, and an SU-8. Now, what is Tankisador going to do with his last remaining shots? He's going to put 2 into the TOG 2. I guess makes sense, you know, 2 rounds into the TOG 2. But now he is finally going to go down the hill, down over here on Glacier, and it is a really good place on this map to do damage in a light tank. Now, I'm pretty sure about 2 years ago nearly, on this map in the EBR75, I actually did something like 6,500 damage from the top of the hill. Then I kind of moved down, you know, moving around the map and all of that. But yeah, I did 6,500, I think it was, something like that. It was quite a nice game, but you know, Tankisador is in a whole nother tank. You know, this isn't a wheeled tank. It's a tier 6 normal light tank, which now has to hunt down the last remaining tank, well, self-propelled gun, which is the SU-8. Tankisador saw where the shell came from, and the 2 M44s on Tankisador's team have been firing in the location where the SU-8 was kind of spotted, his shell was spotted, and they actually did splash him a bit. Tankisador puts in 1 shot, puts in the other, takes about 6 kills, 4,400 damage. Absolutely brilliant game in an absolutely brilliant tank. Let's look at the post-game stats and let's see how well Tankisador did in this game. Now, Tankisador picks up an ace tanker, a Faden's medal, a tank sniper, a high caliber, and a top gun in their Type 64, picking up 4,571 damage. That must have been a blind shot against the TOG 2, I think it was. 6 kills, 2,046 base experience. That is absolutely amazing. You know, I've seen, you know, tier 10 light tank games where they do, you know, a couple thousand damage, you know, spotting as well, and they have less than this. So, you know, to get that much amount in the tier 6 is absolutely amazing. Did just barely scrape by making a profit with a premium account, of course, firing those APCR rounds and using the food. But still, you know, absolutely brilliant game by Tankisador over here in the Type 64. I definitely need to get back into this tank because I think there's definitely more to go, and I definitely need a better crew in it first before I can do stuff like this, because I think I've only got like 2 or 3 skills on them right now. But for now, that is going to be so. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.